Video game modding used to be kind of a small deal. People didn't do it too often. It was more official than anything else. But in the past, 10 or so years, we've come past that. The community can work on games such as Skyrim, which is the most rudimentary of games that I can think of. People have always been modding this game since it came out in 2012, and the community has grown excessively, and there's massive collaborations, and this never would have been possible 10 years ago. And we see with the rise of these websites, these modding websites like Nexus Mods, the one I'm about to show you, the amount of participatory culture, the amount of peer commons based peer production that we see is insane, and it just goes to show how creative people are willing to get and how it will help them improve both themselves, help them improve the game for others, and it'll even help the game developers in some sense. And so I'll show you a little bit about this website, how it functions, how it helps, and I'll even show you how to install a mod. So yeah, let me just pull this screen up over here and we'll get started.
Alright, so I've got Nexus Mod Manager open here, and the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and take a step back, and let's look at this for a second here. So this website is obviously used for downloading mods. It's connected to my Vortex over here, which is my mod manager. Makes everything very simple. The developers made sure that absolutely anybody would be able to participate in the modding community, despite the fact that it is extremely technical, to say the least. So as you can see here, Skyrim has over almost over 2 billion downloads, and this has half a billion downloads. It's absolutely insane how large this community is. And some people might wonder, with a community this large, how do you avoid people with malicious intent? And well, the answer to that is you can't always. But what you can do is you can check files for viruses. You can make sure that the people that are working on this mods have good intent by checking over them before they post anything and by enforcing bans when needed. And so that has worked out pretty well over the years for this website. The amount of people who care about the game seem to outnumber the people who want to break it. So for every one person who wants to break the game, there's about maybe 100 out there who are going to try and help fix whatever problem that person may have caused. And so moving on now, uh, we can go ahead and open Skyrim Special Edition right here, which is the one that I'm using for the example today, just because it's a trademark of the modding community, really. And so, as we can see here, we've got all of our mods. There's absolutely tons of them, and you'll you'll come to see how the participatory culture really does form kind of a deep rooted community, and it forms these groups of people who get together to build these mods. And as you can see, they're for anything from and now he dances, makes this man dance. You've got ones that overdo the entire UI of the game. As you can see here, here's original, here's Sky UI. It makes it more effective, more efficient, quicker to use, better in every way. You can have graphical mods, as you can see here. You can have entire graphics overlays. I mean, you could even change the story if you want. Here's a sort of an example of that. You change the perk tree, it just makes it so much more in depth than it was previously. And so the game just gets better and better over time, and it's insane for a game that's 7 years old to be kept up by this community. And just the comments based peer production that we'll see in here, and all the posts, there's just people asking so many questions and getting the developers are getting feedback. and they're improving things. They put on new patches. As you can see here, they have an entire description of what the mod does. Oftentimes, there will be an FAQ down at the bottom. They really truly want anybody to get involved in this, and that sort of a this sort of a remix culture is so important to help people, especially people how I was when I was 15 or so, and I was starting to get into this sort of stuff. And this could really serve as some potential to help someone get somewhere in life. You learn how to mod a video game when you're younger, you get into programming, keep going on, and it just goes on from there. And it's just so easy. And I will show you this by downloading a mod myself. And how you would get started here was essentially you would click, well, I already have it set up here, of course, but what I did was I clicked download right here, Vortex. Then I would have gotten a notification up here that said open Vortex. I would open Vortex, would go over here, would automatically start downloading, put it in the correct order. All I have to do is press start, and the game works perfectly. All mods perfectly fine. If you have any trouble at all, you can ask questions you can ask questions in the post section. People are very, very helpful and very, very kind. Oftentimes these mods haven't been updated in a little while just because of how old the game is, but I assure you the community is still very active, and I think it's very important that we realize how much of an impact this participatory type of culture has had on the modding community, on this game in particular. Well, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned something about the game modding world a little bit. It's something I've been interested in for a very long time, and I really enjoy the community, and I hope that you can appreciate it too. Thank you.